Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Thursday, the 20th day of October, 2022, Thursday of the 29th week of the year. We have experienced our first frost here in North Carolina. It's going to get into the 70s by the weekend, so it doesn't make any difference. Our first frost happened today. It's a wonderfully chilly morning. You can see our breath. Everything is great here. This is the great field of our school, the Franciscan school. Our primaries are up here. Our lower school is up here because we are having our first of our Catholic social teaching months. We will be doing that periodically throughout the academic year. So the first of our Catholic social teaching months involve the students being aware of conservation practices so that our earth can continue to yield the fruit of the earth as well as be a home for all of us. So on this reading today, on this Thursday of the 29th week of the year, our readings for today, we continue with the wonderful prayer of St. Paul to the church in Ephesus, in which basically Paul prays that the church in Ephesus continue to persevere, that continues to maintain itself in its understanding of its closeness to God, of its relationship to God, of its leadership by Jesus Christ, that Paul again bends his knee to God on their behalf, so they continue to be strengthened and continue to grow in the wonder and beauty of what it means to be people who are creations of God and who are called by God with the ministry of bringing hope and peace to a weary and broken world. This passage is a part of, I can't remember now, morning prayer or evening prayer. It's one of those two hinge hours of the day, but once in the 4-week cycle, or even once a week, not even once in the 4-week cycle, we pray this great prayer of St. Paul to the Ephesians, this great hymn, sometimes as it's called, to the Ephesians, or about the Ephesians from Paul, so that again we all be reminded of our responsibility as well as the Ephesians to help to bring hope and peace to this world. In Luke's Gospel, the don't forget what Luke's Gospel is about. Yes, in Luke's Gospel, again, Jesus speaks in a very different way about the mission of believers and what it is that he's come to do and what he's going to be doing. It's basically not to make everything rosy and cheery and beautiful, but that he has come to set fire to the earth and that he wishes that it be ablaze right now. And that basically what his message is going to do is not necessarily bring peace, but it might just bring division instead, because it is a very challenging message, a very challenging mission that Christ gives to the world, to love without cost, to forgive without any kind of barriers or constraints. Again, to give, to be merciful, not to judge. These kinds of things are not going to be always well received and accepted by the rest of the world. And there may be many who try to fight against these things because they are afraid themselves, or think that these are wonderful intangibles that don't actually produce anything. And yet they are the only way in which we can survive as human beings. They're the only way in which the reign of God may be revealed, is the only way in which a future that God and Christ promise us can be guaranteed. It will, in many ways, cause people perhaps to argue and to think differently, but it doesn't mean that we stop persevering. Not basically in destroying our enemies who don't agree with us, but in trying to reconcile and to make sure that all of those who find this message and this mission of being a member of Christ's movement difficult, that they would be able to see the hope and see the joy and see the wonder and beauty that only God can give, and that comes from trying to live this Christian message of hope. And may the Lord give you his peace.